to thank the chair of roads transport in the Senate, Senator A.D. Kisheru Okech, for ably moving this response, the report on the that was discussed on Papa by the Francis Otieno. I want to thank, and I'm happy, he's one of the youthful senators, and he's doing impressively. The only part remaining is for him to get married, then we shall be home and dry. Mr. Speaker, the reason I'm saying is that many ladies in this city and across the country have been disturbing me to give them your number, because you are the only eligible bachelor in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, I want also to congratulate, and I don't know why the table of clerks are smiling, to congratulate Francis Otieno for having faith and belief in the committee of the Senate and in the Senate, Mr. Speaker. We are very proud. I want to thank the Senator Okech for navigating, because I have looked at the background of this petition. And as a lawyer, Mr. Speaker, I can confirm, because I know you are senior than me, that this matter was a bit delicate and complicated. But the recommendation that has been made by the committee makes me in the industrious nature of the chair and the committee as a whole. So I congratulate the committee, and I want to agree with you, the same Mr. Otieno can take the resolution and adoption of this committee to another forum, possibly alternative dispute resolution. Mr. Speaker, you are aware under our constitution, ADR is recognized, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Francis Otieno suffered, and I've seen in the report, losses of 1,327,000. That should have been compensated. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, going into the future, we must include the interest, because 1.3 million means small money to some individuals within Siaya County government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore even I've seen in the report by the Roads Committee led by the Chair, Eddie, on the issue that this matter went even to Commission of Administration of Justice. I want to appeal to the Ombudsman, Mr. Speaker, to assist Mr. Francis Otieno, since this matter can be resolved amicably. The issue where the land was encroached, that is Siaya Papa Oriang, Siaya stroke Papa Oriang stroke 428, was encroached. It was established by the committee. These are significant that can be used by Mr. Otieno in another forum, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal. Number 4, I have seen where areas there was a contractor which was contracted by county government to do that road, and in ended encroaching the land of Mr. Francis Otieno, which was under lease. The county government of Siaya has a duty of care to Mr. Francis Otieno. Because they, Mr. Speaker, in Thomas Hobbes and J.J. Rozu, in the principal social foundations of the law, the sovereignty was surrendered by Mr. Otieno Francis to the county government and the county governor of Siaya, Mr. Speaker. It is embarrassing that the governor of Siaya prides himself that he's a human rights activist, lecturing us left, right, center, but he cannot assist Mr. Francis Otieno, a small man. The other day, Mr. Speaker, while speaking in Mombasa, he was telling us, trying to correct national government and saying he will take people to the road. Why doesn't he assist Mr. Francis Otieno? Not to go to the road. Yeah. Because now that we don't have a solution, we must advise Francis Otieno to take the road somewhere in Bondo, in Siaya town, and demand for his justice to Orengo's office. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be that, you know, in my language, and even in Kiswahili, they say a shield, or is it an arrow, Mr. Speaker, or a spear to the pig is not as painful to the spear to the person, Mr. Speaker. But when it comes to national government, Governor Orengo is busy correcting the national government. But he cannot fix the problems that are in Siaya. Even the cess money that is collected under sugar is supposed to fix roads in Siaya. But he cannot produce one road that has been done by CS money that we give to Siaya. I speak with authority because I sit in Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Speaker, I'm not discussing the persona, I'm discussing the functionality of the office of the county governor and I know the standing orders 101. I am within, Mr. Speaker. I know standing order. I'm discussing about the office. The office, I'm not discussing the office holder. Mr. Speaker, the incompetence the ineptness and ineptitude, Mr. Speaker, and moribunds exhibited by county government of Siaya should not be allowed to go without us calling him to order. In fact, if he wants us to believe him, we want the county government of Siaya to compensate Mr. Francis Otieno 1.3 million plus interest, so that that man called Francis Otieno can finally know, Mr. Speaker, there is a government, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, because this matter is very straightforward, I want to thank the committee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, us as a Senate, you and me know, we sit here to pass money that goes to counties. I want to appeal to governors. Instead of pointing fingers, the Bible says you should not be busy removing your neighbor's log in the eye and forgetting you have your own log in the eye, Mr. Speaker. I want to challenge governors that instead of lecturing us and correcting, they should fix the messes in our counties, Mr. Speaker. You remember even at some point, the political crisis we are seeing in Siaya is the making of Governor, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe the deputy governor of Siaya, which we failed to impeach because it was political gossip, somewhere in game in Changardens, Mr. Speaker, has not accessed his office? The county government can only invest in goons to harass the deputy governor, not to access. We must call out, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the chairperson of Senator Eddy and agree with him that friendship and leadership and work are two different things. Governor Orengo must be called out. Can he assist Mr. Francis Otieno, Mr. Speaker, and ensure his rights are protected? If he wants us to believe he's a human rights advocate. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I support this report.
Now, Senator Cherargei, you made reference to Standing Order 101, but you bordered on discussing the persona of a governor who is not here, but you corrected that borderline. Now, Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Francis Otieno regarding compensation for sugarcane crop damaged by the Department of Public Works, Roads, Energy and Transport in Pap/Oryang in Siaya County, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 12th of November, 2025. Senator, you may take your seat. Now, honorable members, this motion is now open for contribution by members. And I will start by giving the opportunity to the Senate Majority Leader. Take the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to disagree with this report. Mr. Speaker, I do so not because the committee has not done justice to Mr. Otieno, but how they have concluded this report, I don't agree with them. Mr. Speaker, a reading of Article 159 of this Constitution, just like the judiciary is reminded by the people of Kenya by their supreme law, and allow me to read for the sake of the chair who's here, that in the pursuit of justice, that it shall not be dispensed or administered without undue regard to procedural technicalities. Out of procedural technicalities, Senator Eddy, you are about to deny justice to a poor peasant farmer whose crop was destroyed by a powerful agency called the county government of Siaya. Honestly, my good friend Senator Odi and your transport committee, you're not being fair to this gentleman. All you needed to have done is to visit that particular village and establish whether it is true. Because, Senator Eddy, I understand how busy your committee is and how difficult this exercise would have been for your committee, but this was going to be symbolic. It was the only way you are going to demonstrate to an average Kenyan, deep down in a village in Migori, that if they rise to the occasion and speak to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, we listen to them because we are here because of them. We are here because of ordinary people, Senator Eddy. Your committee cannot reduce the prayers of Mr. Ojwang to fall on issues of technicalities that they never provided substantive evidence. Some of these people that you're dealing with, Senator Eddy, are just peasant farmers that if you tell them to put together evidence to bring before an institution such as this, they will perhaps never have the opportunity to do that. It must never be lost on us as a House of Parliament, Senator Eddie, and my dear colleagues, all of us that sit in committees, that we represent a largely poverty-stricken population that we are now working hard to try and improve their livelihoods. This petition to me was symbolic. It was to show county governors who think that they are so powerful that they can disregard lonely voices that are seeking justice of areas where their rights have been trampled, that is not how to run a county government. Therefore, I want to plead, Mr. Speaker, that after listening to the contributions of my colleague leaders, that we will find a way to either amend this particular report so that we call and put to task the county government of Siaya to respond to us. Mr. Speaker, I thought there is a procedure for raising point of order other than shouting.
Order, honorable members. Order, Senator Kinyua, order, Senator Eddie. I have not seen, other than I've just seen now Senator Kinyua seeking to intervene. Otherwise, there's no other person who's raised any point of order.
But Mr. Speaker, you should deny him for being, for a gross misconduct, Mr. Speaker, because he shouted at the leader while he was speaking.
Order, Senate Majority Leader. Let me hear what Senator Kinyua is saying as regards your point of order.
Nasimama kulingana na kanuni za kudumu 105. Bwana Spika, mimi ni mmoja wa kamati ya uchukuzi na mawasiliano. Bwana Spika, kiongozi walio wengi vile anavyoongea inasikika na Wakenya kana kwamba sisi hatukumuita yule mlalamishi. Bwana Spika, tulimuita, tukamwambia mpaka awe na tafsiri kwa sababu kulikuwa na shida yeye kujieleza. Tukasema kuwe na mtafsiri aweze kutafsiri yale mambo aliyokuwa akiyasema. Bwana Spika, tulimsikiza kwa zaidi ya masaa 4. Vile ambavyo kiongozi wa wengi anavyosingizia ama vile ambavyo Kenya wanasikiza ni ya kwamba sisi wenyewe hatukumsikiza, tulikuja tukamsikiza governor. Bwana Spika, kwa hivyo ndipo nasimama kwa hiyo kanuni, kwa mambo anayoeleza ni kana kwamba sisi hatukumsikiza. Tulifanya tu, tuliandika ripoti na yeye na yule mlalamishi hatukumsikiza hata kidogo, kwa sababu kulingana na sheria zetu unaweza kutembelea sehemu ambayo imeathiriwa ama kumuita ambaye ni mlalamishi. Bwana Spika,
you've made your point, Senate Majority Leader. Refrain yourself from making reference to statements that cast aspersions to the members of the committee. Speaker, to the extent that they did not call upon the petitioner and unless you are able to substantiate.
Let me read you the part of the report that has irked me this much and why I have an issue with this report. It says that in response to the above prayer, the committee recommends that any grievances from the LISA should be addressed through appropriate legal channels, as the committee has noted that the petitioner lacks authority to raise a complaint about the alleged encroachment. That is number one. You are telling an innocent Kenyan who has come before your committee that they lack the legal competence to raise a complaint. Number two, to address specifically to the point of order being raised by Senator Kinyua, this committee tells us that in accordance to the above prayer by the petition, the committee states that it cannot grant his prayer as the petitioner failed to produce any documentations or formal contract to the committee linking the Department of Public Works, Roads and Energy and Transport to the works that were done. However, the committee recommends that the petitioner to pursue the original contract entered in between him and Mr. Elenea Onyango through other appropriate jurisdictions. Mr. Speaker, the point I'm trying to make is plain and simple. Unless the committee is telling us that Mr. Ojuang was lying before this house, if the petitioner could not speak in English, by God's grace, the chairperson of that committee understands the law very well. And I have told you, under the procedure 159D, without trying to be prejudiced or biased, Mr. Speaker, they should have allowed himself to address himself in the law and ask him whether he understands. Each time we bring a person before a committee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Senate Majority Leader, would you like to be informed by Senator Wambua?
So long as, Mr. Speaker, he is not going to inform me about Emali Tiku Road, which his party leader visits at night expecting to meet contractors, Mr. Speaker, I don't mind to be informed.
Senator
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will not talk about the the Mali Road and why the contractor disappeared, not at night, but immediately after the president left. I want to inform the majority leader, my brother, and a man that I've learned to respect, by the way. You know, Mr. Speaker, if the majority leader had cared to read the report, we have realized that when the petitioner appeared before us, because I sit in that committee, and he said he had challenges articulating his issues in Kiswahili or English. In fact, we took a lot of time to debate on how to allow an interpreter in a committee sitting without notice, and through the magnanimity of the chair and the members, we allowed his own brother to interpret for him. So he addressed us in the Luo, and his brother translated in English. And the governor of Siaya, who is a former senator, said that's the fairest way of doing this thing. Let this man be allowed to express himself in a language that he understands best. And because the interpreter will do the work, I being the governor and the former senator, if there is misinterpretation, I can notify the committee. So, the Speaker, that opportunity was given.
That information was meant to be for the majority leader, and in response to the point of order that was raised by Senator Kinyua in extension. Senate Majority Leader, I'm sure you are informed. Proceed to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, that's very useful information. And I must say then, if that is how the committee settled the matter, Mr. Speaker, you must appreciate Senator Eddy and Senator Wambua that the report was tabled just a few minutes ago, and I've only done a purposeful reading, going to recommendations. Therefore, no, we have to comment, because the most important part of any petition is how the prayers were dealt with, whether they were granted or not, and that's what I took issue with. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, because I don't want to lose track of my thought, is that I agree with Senator Cherargei. If you see a governor more loud on other topical issues other than the performance of the county government that he leads, Mr. Speaker, there is a problem in that particular county. I don't want to mention any particular county government, but just by practice and by observing over the years that I have served in this house as a senator, is that the intention of the people of Kenya, having seen through county governors that have succeeded to transform their counties, Mr. Speaker, and those that have been parochial in politics and failed to deliver on anything, is that you can always tell, even from as far as Nairobi, what is happening in a particular county government, Mr. Speaker. Over the years, that is loud, elaborate, and clear. That you can see from the reports that come to this house, from the interactions that you get with members of the public from certain sections of the country. If you find a county governor, specifically, not the government, the county governor, loud on other issues, but very quiet and silent on issues that are under their domain. Many colleagues of ours, for example, Senator Wambua, I know, and so many others, actually aspire to be county governors. It is my hope that eventually, when God grants you the wish, Senator Wambua, we will hear more about the things you're doing in Kitui, more than your comments on issues to do with national IDs, I don't know which one, you know. And this is such the case. There is another one from Trans Nzoia as well, Mr. Speaker, and I don't know which other county. You can name individual counties where what you hear from the county governments are more of their comments on national topical issues other than something divine or something transformational that is happening in their county. I'd be more appreciative. Once 5-10 billion shillings had been put in your hands, Mr. Speaker, it will make us happy, particularly as former colleagues or as senators, to get an invitation to your county to be told that you have put together a mango processing plant in Kitui, and therefore you'd wish we come and share in the joy of your success. That is a celebration that we yearn from our colleagues, Mr. Speaker. But if we hear every time before this house is a petition, the audit reports are bad in peak, you know, PAC is also hunting you because you don't have a functional county government, Mr. Speaker, then it tells us that there is a problem in your particular county. Therefore, I agree with Senator Cherargei, who points out, Mr. Speaker, that we must set good examples as former senators, particularly those that have had the opportunity to serve in this House, listen to us debate every afternoon on what should form the success of a county government, what is expected of a county governor, the kind of reports that make us proud and say that this is something quite novel. These are the things that we used to talk about. Mr. Speaker, when we're in this House and when we see you implement the same as a county governor, then we take pride in it, Mr. Speaker. But not to receive petitions from ordinary citizens who are pleading and saying that I cannot access the services of my county government because of this or the other. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I don't know eventually, because I know the committee will send their report back to the petitioner and tell him these are our findings. Perhaps then, Senator Eddie, a better way as a chairperson of the committee, as somebody from the region, this English that is very glossy that you put together in this report, if Mr. Ajwang struggled to express himself before the committee, I suggest to you that you write to him a letter, perhaps in the Luo, explaining to him where to take his complaints if you find that your committee is not the appropriate. If it is before the CARE, or I don't know before who, to report the governor, Senator Eddie, then so be it, so that at least this gentleman can eventually find justice and he can be compensated for his sugarcane. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Olekina Ledama. And as you take the floor, Majority Leader, you can be sure that the chairperson of the committee cannot in any way do a letter in Dolua, sending or forwarding a committee report. Other than that, he could probably have a session with him and guide him. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to oppose this report. And I do so based on the recommendations by this committee. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of union. This house, if you read Article 96 of the Constitution of Kenya, it says that the Senate serves to protect the interests of counties and their governments. Mr. Speaker, when you find the complexities in this ongoing dispute of destruction of sugarcane of a poor farmer in Siaya County, the least I expected this committee to do, Mr. Speaker, is to be able to sit down with the governor of Siaya and say, there is a poor Kenyan here who is alleging that your Department of Roads gave authority for a road to be constructed, and his sugarcane worth 1.3 million shillings was destroyed. Mr. Speaker, when the committee comes in and says that two things, number one, and the prayers were very simple, because it is important for us to demystify exactly what it is that we are opposing. Mr. Speaker, a petitioner has come to this Senate, the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, and has alleged the following facts. Number one, that his sugarcane, worth 1.3 million shillings, which he depends on. Maybe 1.3 million shillings is not anything for any of the members of the committee, but 1.3 million shillings could be the life of that poor farmer in Siaya County. When he comes in and alleges that the county roads contracted, came in and they destroyed my sugarcane. They constructed a road. Now, there's an issue of facts here. Number one, was there a road which was constructed there? What I'm finding the committee to have observed in the roadworks and scope of the engagement is that in 38, the county government, through the Department of Public Works, Roads, Energy and Transport, reported that it had not contracted any individual company or firm to undertake constructions or maintenance work along Bamasyombo-Pam Orianga Road. Further, the department clarified that no county-owned road maintenance machinery or personnel had been deployed to carry out any roadworks in the said area. If the citizen of Siaya County has come and said, the Ministry of Roads of Siaya County destroyed my property, and the county government is saying, oh, this is what the argument of the county government is. The county government is saying that there was no procurement, It argued that there was no lawful basis for the claim due to lack of formal procurement processes and contracts. So the first question to ask is this: what was the department, or what were the equipment owned by the county government doing in constructing a road? That is the first question to ask. And I want my colleagues to listen to me. If a citizen comes and says that my road was destroyed by the county government, and he asserts clearly that my road was destroyed by the county government, the first thing the governor should have done is to call the citizen and say, let us go there. When they go there, they go look around, they check. When they check, Mr. Speaker,
there's a point
Mr.
of
Speaker,
order by
these points of
Senator
orders are not points of orders. They are points of annoyance.
Mr.
Speaker,
it's his entitlement,
Mr. Speaker,
Senator Olekina.
this is a house of debate. Allow me to debate. I am not a member of that.
Order, Senator Olekina. Order, Senator Olekina. Senator Wambua, what's your point of order?
I mean, they are members of the debate. Why don't they allow us to debate?
We'll ignore him, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order 105, Statement of Funds. You know, Mr. Speaker, it will help us a lot in this House if we inform the public on the reports that are tabled here after we have studied and understood those reports. I don't know why my colleague is so annoyed with us raising a point of order, because he is misleading the House, is misleading the public. Mr. Speaker, there were no county government trucks working on any road. The contract that the petitioner entered into was not between himself and the county government. It was between himself and the person that had been given a contract by the county government. The contractor who won the contract admitted liability, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he admitted liability. The initial settlement was between the contractor and the petitioner. At the time that the committee was considering this report, this matter was being adjudicated through a court of law. Mr. Speaker, you know, if members can read the report.
Senator Wambua, you've made your point.
Thank
Senator Olekina, you refrain yourself out of order to the extent of those facts by Senator Wambua, and you continue debating, but refrain yourself from making reference to matters of facts which have now been cleared by Senator Wambua, who is a member of the committee. That is the directive of the chair, and I will allow you to continue on the basis of that directive.
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of debate. I have the ability to read the report and deduce the meaning of this report. And if I do not agree with this report, I do so. I say so knowing exactly what I'm saying. Allow me to debate. You can debate your points to support the report or not to support the report. But as far as I'm concerned, based on the report that I've read, I completely disagree with it. Because if you read the report,
Olekina.
if the committee
Senator
members
Olekina.
would listen to me.
Order, Senator Olekina. Order, Senator Olekina. You have not been denied the right to debate. That is your entitlement. I am directing that debate. Order, Senator. Order, Senator Olekina. I'll throw you out if you continue along that line. Continue debating within the context of matters of facts as has been laid out by Senator Wambua. If you don't want to do that, I will
Mr. Speaker,
find you out of order and I'll
Mr.
throw you
Speaker,
out.
I shall not be guided on how to debate. I will debate based on what I deduce from this report. I am not told to say A and I say A. If I believe it is B, it is B.
Olekina,
Allow me to debate.
Senator
It is
Olekina.
a point of debate.
Senator Olekina, you're out of order. The chair has directed that you have your right to debate. You are not being directed on how to do it. Refrain yourself from making reference to matters of facts which have been cleared. If you cannot do that, then the chair will
I shall read the report, with due respect,
proceed.
and I shall debate the way I want to debate, not the way I shall be directed to debate. That is my point here. I will read the report. Whatever I deduce from the report is what I'm going to debate. Number one, I have read point number 38. I'm debating on that. I'm responding to that. What I have said, Mr. Speaker, This house is guided by the rule of law. This house has been established to protect the interests of counties and their government. A Kenyan has a right to petition this county when they feel that they have been wronged. That is my point. Mr. Speaker, I am not a member of the Transport Committee. The members of the Transport Committee have a right to stand during the debate time and debate. And ultimately, we will go to vote. And those who supports the report will say yay. Those who oppose like me will say nay. These are simple rules of debates. So, Mr. Speaker, if my colleagues could hold their horses, because the truth can never be bended. The truth can always be straight. And allow me to debate based on what I'm deducing from their report. Their conclusion fact is as follows. Number one, and if you read what they're concluding, Mr. Speaker, and you even read the recommendation given by the Commission of Administrative Justice, it is contradicting what they're saying. So allow me to debate, hold your horses. If you don't agree with me, so be it. These are my 2 cents. Mr. Speaker, I repeat by saying that I completely disagree with this report. This house is established to be able to protect Kenyans. If a Kenyan feels that they have been wronged by anybody, we have the right to listen to them. This Kenyan has come to this house and has said, remember, Mr. Speaker, not every Kenyan is conversant with the dealings of a county government. If a Kenyan, and my good friend, the senator from Kitui, who I hope God will open the ways for him to become governor, when he said that, when he was opposing, with an annoying point of order, that the gentleman came and said that the county government had when he said that this gentleman had a contract with a person who had been given a contract by the county government. It is public money which is being used to pay for that roadworks. What the Commission of Justice said, Mr. Speaker, and I'm going to read from their report. While engaging with the CAJ, the county was issued with 2 key determinations from the CAG. First, that the county government must conduct a comprehensive investigation into the incident, and second, that the detailed report be submitted to the Commission within 60 days. The report did not outline the findings of the investigation and indicate any action taken, particularly if it is established that a county officer authorized the use of a petitioner's land. Later, the county government requested the CAG to review its prior recommendation in light of the petition's failure to provide the required supporting documentation. However, the county acted upon the directive and conducted internal verification and confirmed that no authorized works were undertaken along Barsimo, Osimo, or Pap Orengo Road or adjacent to the parcel of land. Mr. Speaker, if you read that sentence clearly, there are 2 contradicting things. Number one, and I want to outline this one sentence. The report did not outline the findings of the investigation and indicate any action taken, particularly if it is established that the county officer authorized the use of the petitioner's land. Mr. Speaker, when you find that a report is contradicting, the only logical thing to do is to disagree with that report. And in my finding, Mr. Speaker, the best thing that this committee of the Senate should have done is, first of all, visit the site, speak to the neighbors, do carry out investigation, so that even if it ultimately come out with the finding that they came out with, which are as follows. Number one, they said, prayer 1. This gentleman was only seeking to be paid 1.3 million. He said compensation as per the letter dated 19th of October 2023 to the Department of Public Works, Roads, Energy, Transport, and revised compensation damages. In accordance to the above prayer by the petitioner, the committee stated that it cannot grant this prayer as the petitioner failed to produce any documentation or formal contract to the committee linking the Department of Public Works, Roads, Energy, and Transport to the works. However, The committee recommends that the petitioner to pursue the original contract entered into between him and Mr. Onyango through other appropriate jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, when a petitioner comes to this office, to this house, and we give him audience to listen to him, and this is the same petitioner who has completely stated that I cannot express myself well because this is a house of union, and this is a house that represents the interests of Kenyans, and particularly poor Kenyans. If they find that the county government may not have a role to play here, and they find that it is this Onyango guy who has negated the contract, this house has the powers to recommend that that person be compensated from the initial agreement. That is the reason why I'm disagreeing. And my colleagues have a right to come and say, Senator Olekina, we did not have the powers to pursue that. Number two, Mr. Speaker, the committee would have said, okay, we are calling Mr. Onyango. We are now going to investigate further on the initial contract. Those are my points of debate, Mr. Speaker. I don't want us to reduce this house to a point where we are guided on what we can debate. Why did we go to school in the first place? Why did we come to Parliament if we cannot be able to express ourselves and be able to defend the interests of those people who put us here? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I am disagreeing with this report because it says that, prayer number two, divert the illegal roads to a position recognized by the Survey of Kenya map of that area. In response to that, this committee of the Senate stated as follows. In response to the above committee, the committee recommends that any grievances from the lessor should be addressed through the appropriate legal channels, as the committee has noted that the petitioner lacks authority to raise a complaint about the illegal encroachment. How on earth could that be true? This petitioner has come to the Senate. They have said there's a survey of Kenya. We have resources in this house. Why couldn't the Department of Transport, the Committee on Transport, proceed to the survey of Kenya and say, this is what this gentleman is requesting. He's requesting that this road be diverted based on the survey of Kenya map. Why don't we have, and we have a resource team in this parliament, why don't we have the survey of Kenya map so that we can say the petitioner is wrong? A petitioner cannot come to this house and we send them away. Why should they come to this parliament in the first place if we are sending them away? This is the reason why, Mr. Speaker, I completely disagree with this report. And I want my colleagues to listen to me. No Kenyan will ever come to parliament. If when they come to parliament, you don't pay attention, you don't go deeper and investigate the reason as to why this guy is aggrieved. No one will ever come here. Because they'll just come here and they'll know that you'll send them away. I have a lot of respect for my good friend, Senator Eddie, with this committee, because I know he's diligent. But when something is not right, I also cannot shy away from saying that this is wrong. In my finding, Mr. Speaker, and I am a ranking member in this house, I've been here, I've investigated matters in different committees. Nothing stopped this Senate from extending to every department, which the resource team, the secretariat feel like there are issues to be dealt with here. Mr. Speaker, my point is very clear, and I want to end here. This report is shoddy. It is a summation of the real facts. The facts are stated, but I want to point out clearly that there is a lot of complexity in those matters. This ongoing dispute of encroachment of a citizen land by the Siaya County government should not just be read like it's just an easy thing, where the Senate now conclude by saying, look for justice elsewhere. Why did I waste my time here? Why did we in the Senate waste money to hold those committees? We get paid to attend those meetings. You know, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, because I don't want points of annoyance, I want to end by saying that I completely disagree with this report, and I wish that the Department of Transport can proceed.
Senator Alekina,
I do not wish to be informed.
the
Mr.
chair
Speaker,
has not even spoken. Do you wish to be informed by Senator Eddy?
I do not wish to be informed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Senator Wambua.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will just say very few things about that report. The Speaker, I think it's fair that when then we bring reports from committees, it's okay for members to debate those reports, tear those reports into pieces, and